Good day, everyone. I'm Dr. Hilary Hines, your training coordinator, and I'll be guiding you through our topic on waiting lists. But first, let's do a little home screen recap. So let's first talk about our title bar, which I'm highlighting at the top of our screen. This tells us who is logged in. As you can see, my name is here. It tells us their role. My role is a system administrator. It also tells you which system you're logged into, which is Spanish Town Hospital, and it tells you where you are in SystmOne. In this case, you're on your home screen. So if ever you get lost, you can look to your title bar and you can know exactly where you are. Now our next home screen item is our menu bar. Now our menu bar has items that act like doors that can lead us anywhere in the system to perform tasks. After this, we have our action bar. It consists of all these icons that you see here. We can pull out features that we use a lot so we can access them quickly. Next is our notice board. Our notice board allows us to get any important notices, whether it be from the creators of the software or even from our own organization. Next, we have our notification areas. These areas give us numerical information about tasks, beds, admissions, or discharges. So now let's go into the topic of waiting lists. Waiting lists are a SystmOne concept. This is how the system organizes the patients into different services. Every patient in the hospital has to be under the care of someone. They can be on multiple lists, or they can just be on one list. Patients get on this list through electronic referrals that are managed by your health records team. They can also be taken off or discharged from the list by your health records team as well. Now I want to show you how to find your waiting list. So let's look to our menu bar. If you remember, it is up here. And let's look at our hospital overview item. I'll give you a moment to find it. Now when we hover our mouse over this item, and we do a left click, we'll see that we have options come up. And under these options are our waiting lists. When you see it, I want you to left click on it and it will take you to the waiting list screen. I'll give you another moment to try it out. Now you know that you successfully arrived at your waiting list screen because again in your title bar, you can see that you are at your waiting list. So let us break down this screen. Maybe let's call it an anatomy class. So first, as I said before, we have our title bar that tells us that we're at waiting list. We also have something that we call our waiting list tree that is located right here on your screen on the left hand side. Now this tree consists of varying folders that you can expand or collapse to view any waiting list within them. And I'll show you how to do that right now. So you could collapse and all you see are outpatient lists and inpatient lists. And I'll come to that in a bit. When you expand your outpatients, you can see all your outpatient lists here. And when you can expand your inpatients, you can see all your inpatient lists here. If you're not seeing your list, that's okay. This is a practice system. You can let us know if you want your list to be reflected and we can update the system so that on the live version, you'll have access to everything that you need. Now I will let you know about the types of lists that we have. So as you can see here, we have two types of lists. We have our outpatient and we have our inpatient waiting list. Now our outpatient waiting list have to do with patients who are basically waiting for an outpatient service. Usually it's an appointment. These are patients who are a part of your clinic. Your inpatient list are persons who are waiting for an admission. These tend to consist of persons who are usually booked for admission or who may even be ready to be admitted straight from A&E. When you open your list, which you do by clicking the arrow beside the blonde woman's head, you can see that there are several lists below. If you select a waiting list, you'll notice that what appears is a list of patient names right beside it. In this area, this is where you'll see all the patients that are a part of your list. And I'm going to give you an example using Test Johnson. Test Johnson's name is on Firm 1 New Patients General Surgery waiting list. He's been waiting for 7 weeks and 3 days. He also may have a history of an appointment but no active appointments currently. We can also even see what consultants he has who are taking care of him. We can even see his TRN if that was provided. Any alerts about the patient, for example, if they have any particular allergies, and if he gets specific types of slots, which we'll come to in a bit, we can see that here too. Now from this list, you can even open a patient's record. You can do that by left clicking on the patient and right clicking on the patient. Here you can see a drop down that can tell you about all the different features you have available to you for the patient on this list, including retrieve patient. But I'll give you a moment to try that in a bit. There's something else I want to show you. I want to show you how you can actually filter this tree to get the list that you specifically want to see. So let's say, for argument's sake, I wanted to know what list Test Johnson was on, but I wasn't really sure, and I didn't want to have to search through all my waiting lists to see that. What I can do is I can go to my section on the left hand side that says filter by patient, and usually there's a random one next to it. Now what I can do here is I can click in the box beside the random one, and I can type in Test Johnson's name. Let's click on search and select his name by clicking the blue button that says select. Now, as you can see, my tree has become much shorter and I only see the list that Test Johnson belongs to. So I'll give you a moment to try that out. Now another thing we can do is filter our list by lead care professional. In this case, it'd be a consultant. Let me show you how that's done. So you can select the box that says any consultant, and you can select the consultant's name. You do this through pure left clicks. So I'm gonna select any consultant with my left click, and I'm gonna choose Dr. St. Clair Clark. Left click on his name, and if you notice again, my waiting list tree has become much shorter. These are the lists that Dr. St. Clair Clark is responsible for. We can also filter by category or waiting list description here. So maybe you know what waiting list you want to look for, but it's difficult for you to search through all the waiting lists to find it. So for example, I'm going to type in the word surgery here. And as you can see, your waiting list tree has been cut down just to reflect any waiting list that has the name surgery. And this is how you can manipulate your waiting list. I want you to take a moment to give it a try.